Hey, we're here with Marty Garza. He's got a brand new book out. You guys will love it. Tell us about this book. What is it? It's a long name. Tell us the name of it.
Monster Truck Technology, the definitive history of monster truck evolution.
Okay, now this book touches on everything. I mean, it touches on how the tear tire evolved, the axle technology, all of it. Tell us a little bit what inspired you to do this?
Well, I tell the story at the beginning of the book. A few years ago, we were at a very large event with a lot of very famous drivers, current drivers, and so we're sitting at a table, having a conversation, talking about, like we do, talking about our old war stories, and in this conversation, we could tell that a couple of the newer drivers sitting at the table had no idea what we were talking about. Mm-hmm. And so Mikey asks one of them, he goes, "Do you know who Bob Chandler is?" And they had no idea. And I was just blown away. I could not believe it. Yeah. And that stuck with me. It was like, it spooked me. For some reason, it was like, I felt like, are we really at the point where we could just be forgotten?
Yeah.
That all this history, that got us to this point that we're at today, performing in front of millions of people worldwide, that all that would just like be in the past. And I thought about it, but there was really not anything I could do about it. Well, it's weird how, fate throws these curveballs at us. Well, shortly after that, I get a phone call from a major publishing company. Okay. And they asked if I would be interested in writing a book. And they kind of just left it up to me, and they said, "We want a book on monster trucks, but we not necessarily have any clear idea what we want." And I thought about it, and I go, yeah, I can do it, but I've got my ideas of what needs to be done. And obviously, coming from the technology side of the industry, I wanted to write something that would explain how we got to where we are today, because there's I think a pretty common misconception out there that what we see today, that somebody waved a magic wand and poof, there's a monster truck with a tube chassis and 30 inches of wheel travel. So I said, if I want to take us back, and as the writing process started, I started going further back and further back, and I said the best way to get to convey a really good understanding of what it is that we're doing, I had to take those technologies back to their origins, which in some cases are like as far back as 3,500 BC.
Yeah, boy, some of them go back, but I'll tell you, this book sucks you in. You start reading it and you can't quit, because especially anybody that's a monster truck fan, I mean, you're reading it and it's just like, wow, I had no idea about some of this stuff. I mean, I don't even know how you found some of this stuff.
Well, that's I think that's the key, is that this book was not, unlike most things that are kind of dumbed down to the lowest common denominator, I wrote this book for us. I wrote this book for the pioneers. I wanted to give recognition to the people that I felt laid the groundwork for where we are today. And so many people were involved in that never got any credit for it. And I said, no, these people deserve to go down in history for what they did. So I spent a lot of time trying to find all these little stories of these things that might seem rather insignificant, but in the grand scheme of things, each one of them played a role in getting us where we are.
Yeah, because a lot of the stuff didn't just happen. I mean, it might have been this guy developed a little bit of something, and then this guy seen that and added to it, and then that guy added. I mean, it's pretty amazing how some of the things really evolved.
And one of the biggest challenges in this was putting it in an understandable chronological order. There's so much overlap. It took quite a bit of thought to laying it out in an understandable fashion. So, ultimately what I did is I broke it into chapters that focus on specific technologies. And then I try to take those technologies through their entire development phase all the way through today. That's another probably kind of somewhat misconception about the book. The book isn't all about the past. It covers a lot of what's actually going on today. And not only that, but where we're going. A a lot of the key pieces that are going to be integral in the next level of development are already out there. They may not be recognized. Some people also believe that monster trucks haven't evolved in recent years, which is also completely inaccurate. If you just go back as few as, less than 10 years, you can go back 5 years, and you look at what trucks were doing then and what they're doing today, not only are they doing it better today and doing things we couldn't do then, they're doing it much more reliably. The componentry is so much better engineered, the metallurgy, everything is improving. And it's not necessarily something that's, an obvious piece you see on the truck that makes the trucks look different. It's not that. It's how they're composed and the technology that's used in the development of each individual small component that all combined makes the truck so much better.
Yeah, I mean, it's a phenomenal book. You guys will love it. How do they find it? Is it online?
Right now it's available exclusively on monstertrucktechnology.com. Okay. Come January 2020, it'll be available to your major retailers, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all those.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. Thanks for writing the book. I mean, I think it was a really needed thing in the monster truck world to get some of that knowledge out there, because I've had the same instances with working with the Hall of Fame events and things that we're trying to do with the history and the museum. We're running into some of the same stuff. Some of the history has been totally forgotten and lost, and this here is going to help set the record straight, I think. So check it out. Thanks a lot for spending some time with us, and thanks for the book.
Thank you, Jeff.
We'll see you later.